Hi everyone, I am Mopriya. I am working as a subject matter expert in CorporatesGuide. In this today's session, my topic is what is troubleshooting in Spring Boot application. Okay, so let's start some understanding about this topic. So what is this troubleshooting? Troubleshooting Spring Boot application can involve various aspects, including identifying and resolving errors, debugging issues, and optimizing performance. Okay, now here I showing try to showing some common troubleshooting steps. Okay, firstly, check application logs. Review the logs generated by your Spring Boot application. Logs can provide valuable information about errors, expectation, and unexpected behaviors. Pay attention to any stack traces or error message that might indicate the source of problem. Okay. Then you check these verify dependencies and versions. This is important in this Spring Boot application. Ensure that you have compatible and up-to-date dependencies for your Spring Boot application. Check the pom.xml, which is used for Maven project, or check the build.gradle, which is used for Gradle project, to confirm the correct versions are being used. Incompatibles or outdated libraries can cause issues. Here you see, when you create a Maven project or Maven file, inside this you see this pom.xml is mandatory. Okay. Another one is review configuration settings. Check your application configuration files such as application.properties, this one, or application configurations or inconsistencies. Make sure that the settings match the expected values for your application environment. Another one is debugging. If the issue is not immediately apparent, you can debug in your Spring Boot application using an integrated development environment, which is IDE, like IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse or STS. Here I showing that STS, which is Spring Tool Suite. Okay, and set breakpoints in the relevant code and step through the application to identify the problematic area. Inspect variable values and analyze the program flow to pinpoint the issue. Okay. Another one, which is enable debug logging. Increase the logging level to debug mode to get more detailed information about the application internal process. This can help you trace the flow of execution and identifying any intermediate issues or unexpected behavior. Use Spring Actuator. Spring Actuator provides several endpoints that can give you insights into your application, health metrics, and other useful information. Enable Actuator in your application and use its endpoints, okay, to check the status of various components, diagnose potential problems, etc. Another one is analyze database interaction. If your application involves database operations, examine the queries being executed and monitor the database performance. Ensure that the database connections are correctly configured and optimize your queries if necessary. When you add dependency, okay, here when you add starter or dependencies, you must be added database. Okay, here I use MySQL driver. So this is a database dependency. When you don't add this dependency, this time when you run any program included database part or CRUD application, it's not running. Okay, so this is a required. Another check external dependencies or integrations. If your application relies on external services or APIs, verify their availability and connectivity. Here I connect this MySQL. Ensure that the required credentials and configuration are correctly provided. Monitor network requests and responses to identify any issues or errors. Performance optimization. If your Spring Boot application is experiencing performance problems, you can analyze bottlenecks and optimize the code. Identify areas that consume excessive resources or have inefficient algorithms. Leverage caching, database indexing, or other techniques to enhance performance. Okay. Another last one is consult Spring Boot documentation and community. Spring Boot has extensive documentation, forums, and community supports. If you encounter a specific issue or error, search the official Spring Boot documentation. Here you also search this Spring Boot official documentation. And here you find out errors or some travel, and check forums like Stack Overflow or participate in relevant developer communities to find solution or insights from experienced developers. Okay, so remember that troubleshooting can vary depending on the specific issue you encounter, so it's essential to adapt these steps accordingly. So guys, that's all for today's session. Hope you find the session informative. Thank you, and like, share, subscribe please.